Here on Tazzz Reacts, I fully support this month of May because the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So always know that you're not alone out there. Whether you reach out to one friend or one family member or one person that cares, do that. You can also reach out here. Sometimes it helps just to say something in a comment somewhere. So I just want you to know that you're never alone. This is going to be a special music reaction video that I'm going to do in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. But I want you to first grab a drink, sit back in your comfy couch, and wait until Tazzz reacts. All right. So one thing that makes this special is this is due to a Patreon Buy Me a Coffee song donation request. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Most of the money goes back into the channel to keep it running smoothly and to get new equipment and get better sound, stuff like that. Um, so this goes out to the awesome and the amazing Shieldsy. Thank you, Shieldsy. Um, the next thing that makes this very special is that this song that Shieldsy had requested is in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month because we all know the power of music, the power of song. Somebody can hear a certain song and the lyrics in that song or what you see in that song could change you or help you in some way. And this is a song that could do it. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but the reason I say that is because of the people that are going to be singing it. One is Dax. Dax, I've heard him a few times, some of his music, and I also know his passion when he raps. He's a Canadian rapper, but a lot of his songs are about societal issues and mental health issues. So I know that he cares and that he gives a damn, and he can relate. So that gives me confidence. Plus the fact that Shieldsy said this is one of the songs dedicated for the month. Um, and it's featuring Darius Rucker. Now, I've heard Darius Rucker a few times with I forget the group name. Oh my God. I would blank. All right, he was with a group. Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish. There we go. But then I think he either went solo or he just made a solo album. I don't know. I don't really follow him, but I like his voice, his tone. He seems like a really cool, laid back guy. Um, so he's featured in this as well. The title of the song is To Be a Man. It says remix. So perhaps this is a remix of Dax's original To Be a Man. I don't know. I haven't pre-watched it or anything yet. Make sure that you reach out to someone this month, particularly like if someone that you know is acting perhaps a little bit different or they're distant or something doesn't feel right. Just reach out and say, hey, is everything okay? Just so you know, I'm here if you ever need to talk. Sometimes that one sentence can mean a world of difference. Don't assume that they're okay. If something feels off, just ask. It can't hurt to ask, right? So anyway, let's pretty much get into this. I don't pause the music portions of my videos because I like to get immersed into a song. I pray that YouTube doesn't block this song, especially since it's dedicated to Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, so let's get into this, and I don't want you to go anywhere and wait until Tazzz reacts.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I'll give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's That's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make
I
a
can't
sound.
hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health. Then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves.
We can ourselves.
We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home.
Inside that home,
That home. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home.
inside that home.
Oh, whew. I'm trying to think of formulate words in my head to, because this is all unscripted, off the dome. It's what comes into my mind. Let me first say though that that was just, it was so tender how it was arranged between Dax and Darius. It was just so tender, and it had a calming effect. Like it wasn't like amped up or anything like that, because Dax is amazing. I've heard some of his songs, I said before, and a lot of his songs I've heard have been really like fast paced. He's very good. He can rhyme fast, but he does it with clarity and diction. Let me add, because I know some of you out there may not like rap, and that's fine. It's a personal preference, but not all rappers rap the same. There's some rappers you don't know what the hell they're saying. I call them mumble rappers, but that is not Dax. He has such clarity and diction in his pronunciation, whether he's rhyming fast or slow. What I liked about this is this was more like poetic. There's such a cool fine line between like reading poetry and rapping. Like it felt like he was reciting poetry. Then he got a little bit more, I guess, faster or rapish. This is just my interpretation, but hopefully you know what I mean. But it doesn't matter. My point is just that I think I read somewhere that he used to do poetry. So then that makes sense. Like, it's such a close thing between that and actual rapping. But I like how this song from beginning to end was very tender. It was very slow paced, so you can really let it sink in, I would imagine. And then the beautiful imagery of seeing these various types of men, all different shapes, sizes, colors, and ages, wearing different uniforms, like fireman uniforms or like veteran uniforms, or maybe the VFW uniforms and stuff like that. And then your average guy, like the guy at home with his son, I guess that was. So different facets, because men, of course, and fathers come in so many different forms. We're not all one note. So I love that, the tender approach of it. Um, I like Darius's voice because he has that distinct voice. It has like a very like deep and kind of like smoky, raspy voice, I guess I would say, which I like his tone. And then Dax, this was cool for me because since I'm used to hearing Dax more hardcore rapping, I'm not used to hearing him like poetic wise or like, slow paced or singing. Some parts sound like singing to me. So I don't know if I've ever heard him like sing before, but those are the things I wanted to mention first. Now, getting into the lyrics, because me being a man, um, I can 1,000% relate to this song as far as societal pressure. I'm taking it as like, there's always this expectation, like, because you're a man, you must like, basically people think, not all, but a lot of people think because you're a man, like you shouldn't cry or you should go in the woods and chop down trees. It almost feels like a lot of people in society expect like men to be like these superheroes or like we're unbreakable and uh, shootable or can't think of the word. Um, but that's not just being a man, like being strong and rugged and have no feelings basically. And nothing phases us. We're human too. Um, we can be happy. We can also be sad. We could be depressed and we could be joyful and we could be strong. We can still do all that while being strong because there's an old saying or phrase or cliche, whatever you want to call it, that a real man is not afraid to cry. Um, and I believe that's true. I mean, I don't mean you should cry at every moment, like you go outside and it's raining and you cry. I'm talking about like, hey, maybe you'll see a sad movie. Maybe someone you love gets sick. It's okay to shed a tear. So there's a big problem about that. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, real men don't cry. That's not true. So like, let's take the chorus of this song. So let me see, and bringing it up. I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. I mean, that's like not a cry for help, but that's just a saddening way of saying, like, people don't, some people don't care about your feelings. And they think, again, that there's this stereotype that because you're a man, you're supposed to be able to do this and do that and do this and not have any problems or anything like that. But, and he says, I don't expect you to understand, but it's it's something that we all should know as far as, like I said, men are humans too. As long as you're like if you have a family, let's say, as long as you're providing for the family to the best that you can, as long as there's love, roof over their head, um, there's compassion, there's education, there's love. That alone right there could be being a man. It doesn't have to be a certain this or a certain that, or it has to be 100%. Men make mistakes too. Um, like when Darius Rucker like sings his part and talks about that, it's that pressure that kind of takes you away from your authenticity as a man. Because a lot of people think that men should like please everyone and do it all and like always be there. But sometimes you can't. First of all, you can't be in multiple places at the same time. Second of all, you're not supposed to necessarily please everybody. And then what does that actually mean? Like, what's the intensity of that? Like, are you also getting pleased and taken care of yourself? Like, okay, in a family, in your household, to an extent, yes, you please everybody, but that doesn't mean drop everything and be there at their beck and call always 24/7 and totally disregard your feelings and what you need to do to get through the day. It almost makes it feel like there's an imbalance of when you should stop. When is enough enough? How come my feelings aren't counted? You know what I mean? So it's a huge misconception. And, again, me speaking as a man, sometimes I felt those pressures in life and day to day and stuff like that. Like, there was one time I was in a car with somebody, a few people, and the car broke down and they just assumed that I could fix it. So a guy, I'm like, all I know is how to put gas in the tank and how to drive the car. And I know how to change a tire, but that's it. If you lift up the hood, I'm looking there with you. So it was a stereotype, like, come on, you don't know anything about cars. This is a woman who had said that, like, you're a guy, like, so that's one small instance, but it's so much more than that all over the world. And sometimes it can really be debilitating on a guy who really it gets to him and stuff like that. Hey, they made a song about this. So this lets you know that this is a situation out there. So it's a situation of trying to hopefully change society and letting them know that you are not Superman. Superman is a fictional character. We wish we could be Superman, but that's not true. On top of trying to get society to understand that is also a fact of dealing with yourself internally, knowing that you are a man, and don't feel less than because of what society says or what your own parents might say. Like I have another friend, true fact, who his father was in the military. He was a high veteran in the military. I forget what he was, high caliber, but he raised his son to like not cry and to be rugged and tough. Like, we're not in actual war, like war on a day to day, everyday life. Like, like this kid, he said growing up, like he was afraid to cry. Like one time he ripped his leg on like a barbed wire and like his father came and he said he had to use all his might and power to not cry. And I'm like, damn, that's just saddening. You have to like not be authentic. And that was a perfect reason to cry, a barbed wire cutting through your leg. So that's just an example. Like sometimes it starts at home, those pressures, um, by a loved one. So yeah, this is very, very a potent song, and it's something that resonates with a lot of people, particularly men. Um, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know how this makes you feel if you can relate to this. Um, some fun facts about Dax, if you didn't know. I actually looked up. It says Dax discovered his passion for music through poetry at the age of 22. He aims to be the Drake, quote unquote, of poetry, unquote, using his lyrics to address societal issues and personal experiences. His single Dear Alcohol peaked at position 9 on the Bubbling Under Hot 100 and at 28 on the US Hot Country Songs charts. The track was certified by Music Canada and the RIAA. So that's pretty cool about that. And there's some fun facts about Darius. In 2008, Darius Rucker transitioned to country music because when he was with Hootie and the Blowfish, that was a rock band. He released his second solo album, Learn to Live. Its first single, I Don't Think About It, made him the first black artist to top the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart since Charlie Pride in 1983. So that's pretty cool to know. Um, I thought this was a really cool blending of Dax and Darius Rucker. They both were cool puzzle pieces to this really stripped down song. I hope that many people see this reaction video and hear what I have to say about it, and perhaps let me know in the comments if this is going to be your first time even seeing the video from Dax, because this is a very, very, very important song. Again, I believe because there is this stigma and this stereotype of like quote unquote what men should be. We're not all clones. We all don't live the same lives. Some people have full families, wife and kids, and some people are single with no kids, like myself. So, we have different things, different households. But like I said earlier, like, men are human too. We bleed, we have feelings, we get sad. We have the pressure of providing and paying for bills just like everybody else. And sometimes you shouldn't have to just suck it up and not deal with it. Some guys go to the gym to let out frustrations, but again, it's just to show that, we are not some special superhuman breed that are infallible. I think I'm using that word right. But anyway, enough of me. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments how this song made you feel. you want to share any stories of how you have been approached or reacted to being a man, or anything that's bothered you, because I want to know, because you matter on this channel. Anyway, this is the part of the show I do a thumbs up pass if I like a song, thumbs down ass if I don't like a song. Thumbs up. Thumbs up all the way for Dax. Thumbs up for Darius Rucker. Amazing job, gentlemen. All right. If you want to see another song that I've reacted to, because there's a lot, I want you to please check out over there. And remember that you're never alone, okay? Take it easy and keep it breezy.